Okay, the long test ride today takes place. So over today I'm hoping to rack up the maximum amount of miles this thing will do. I'm carrying a rucksack with 6 batteries on my back and a charger unit. So it's one more battery than we plan to take, but I'm carrying it. Actually, 4 of those aren't charged up either. just literally for weight to see what it's like. I'm currently on a fire trail, which is quite rough. And it's actually handling all right, and it's actually a steep hill as well. I'm probably doing about 6 miles an hour, something like that now. Got to be really careful because the weight distribution obviously is different, so it's very front heavy and very back heavy, which equals out on flat. But if you're leaning heavily forward, obviously it's tipping forward slightly, so there's more weight on the front. So to stop suddenly, as in you want to lean back a little bit to adjust your speed, is quite difficult. Going downhill is alright, because you're always braking essentially, and you're being aided to brake. But going downhill, going forward like on a flat or going uphill, because you're tipping forward so much, the weight basically tips you forward a bit too much, so you have to be quite heavy on the back. Kind of counted now, today is the first time I've tried it, it's kind of counted by having the rucksack on, because the weight is on your back, so it's helping to alleviate that, shall I say, in inverted commas, problem. But it's all rideable. It's just retraining on how to ride it, and you just have to be committed to going a little bit slower than I'm used to on my P. Currently on Jonathan's, this is our Gen 2, which is the final version really, I think. Might have to do some water protection on the front and back covers, like some neoprene covers or something, but it's the final version. This is Jonathan's, and it's actually an E, not even an E+, and it's coping very well with all this huge burden of weight on it. So yep, I shall carry on. Okay, I'm about 2.5 miles in now to the journey. It's about, whatever it is, 16-17 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, somewhere around that mark. I got a bit of pain in my left ankle, not sure why, so that's an interesting one. Never ever had that before, so I'm going to try and monitor that and have to think around it somehow. A couple of considerations would be to add a system. I've thought of a system already. We've basically got no carry handle on it, because there's no point. That carry handle is designed to pick up a 13 kilogram unit, and we sort of, as you saw in a previous video, turned it into a 22 kilogram unit. It's a bit pointless really. It's not going to last the 200-mile massive trek, 60 miles a day kind of thing, being battered about. And then if it does snap, we've got a useless space on the Ninebot. So let's pretend it's going to break, the handle's going to break, because it's not designed to do what we're doing, and then replace that whole area with a strap, a fabric strap, like a cable. I'm trying to think what you call them now. It's a strap they use on lorries, a ratchet strap. There we go. That type of grade. Bolt it, 2 bolts, if not 3 bolts into each. We may even use a pre-existing bolts for the carry handle on the front end and add some on the rear. Do that, but not only that, we've got a molly webbing system, which they use in the military for attaching things to vests. We've got pouches already to practice. You can put 2 batteries in at a time. They can web around that carry handle, still allowing you to use the carry handle. And the reason I've suddenly thought we need maybe to try and hang some more batteries on rather than fixing them permanently like I've done here, is that a consideration is weight on your ankles as one, but secondly, if you do fall, which could be completely catastrophic to the system anyway, and it would all have to go in your rucksack if it all fell off and broke, is that if you fall with this rucksack on your back and you put your arms out, even with wrist protectors on, you're going to be lucky not to really injure yourself. So might get on with that next week. So that could be like an optional thing. We could have them in our bag, carry them from a certain amount of time. If it gets too much and something's hurting, which is going to bound to happen, I think, by the feel of it, is then to take out. We could take out 4 of those batteries, which is quite a substantial amount of weight, and temporarily hang them over. It would only take a minute or 2 to attach them. Temporarily hang them over the modified carry handle, relieving some of the weight and putting the weight on the bot. And also, if you came off when they're hung on the bot, that's an extra whatever many kilograms that is off of your backpack, not to slam you into the ground. So there we go. Okay, that is a long, the camera doesn't do it justice, but it's a very steep long uphill, been here before, and it's bad enough on a normal Ninebot in terms of not trying to stress the motor out, because it's a long winding steep hill, very off-roady. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't got anyone else to film me coming up it, so I'm on my own, on my Todd. So I'm just going to show you it before I attempt to go up it. Yeah. And if you've had ankle ache, which anyone who rides a Ninebot, not ankle ache, sorry, lower foot ache, cramp, stroke, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I ride these quite a bit, as you can imagine, and I've kind of got over that. But I'm 3 miles in, and I've got quite achy lower feet, and my calves are burning. Whoa! This is going to be an interesting trip, but one I'm definitely looking forward to. The challenge is immense, and anyone who doesn't ride an electric unicycle, you won't know what this is all about particularly unless you go and try and ride one for yourself. You won't appreciate how actually difficult this is. I think Jonathan's had some comments, you know, like, oh, electric unicycle, that's not, what's the problem, kind of thing. It's electric, it takes you along. What could be farther from the truth? This would probably be actually easier on a unicycle. I have ridden a unicycle, by the way. And the off-road bit's a bit more challenging, but just riding along a road would be quite nice. No batteries to worry about. It's the additional logistics, basically, which basically again includes just the weight as a massive challenge to the whole thing, to the hardware which isn't designed to do this, to your body which is not really designed to do this. Your feet are stood still all the time. You're controlling forward and backwards. Obviously, then you've got tiredness kicking in because it's 10-hour days at least. So yeah, it's going up this hill okay, by the way. I'm travelling up it now. So pretty slow though, must be doing about 3-4 miles an hour. But it's getting up there. Anyway, I've got to keep an eye on the temperature stuff. I don't want to, because the other thing is obviously taking care of it, like you would if you're motor racing, taking care of the unit, make sure you're actually going to bring it through to the end rather than just hammering it everywhere. So that's a constant mind game of keeping that going and making sure you're checking yourself all the time. With this, our average speed worked out is 8 miles an hour as an average speed. This will do 8 miles an hour. This will do 9.5. When it gets to about 9.7, due to the extra weight and the bobbing effect you get from the weight on the front and back, it becomes a very, very interesting, or should I say very scary. Wow, this is a real slippy mud here. So yeah, it becomes quite a difficult, oh yeah. So I've encountered some mud. It comes at, I'm gonna have to get off and push it up this little bit. It becomes a very interesting ride where you just easily could just cut the unit out because there's so much weight on it. The tolerances again are brought down to where it'd be 13 miles an hour. Now it's about 9.8. I have hit 10 a couple of times and it's not been, this is really muddy and slippy. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I have hit that top speed sometimes and not had an issue. Other times it's sort of gone really weird and tried to almost throw me off. So we need to basically stick at, I've been doing an average speed of 8.5, 8.4, 8.4, 8.5 for the last 3 miles. So it's attainable, the 8 miles an hour is attainable. It's just that I can see when you're getting tired, after about half an hour of riding, it's going to become a problem. So we'll see. Okay, this is really rough ground. It's actually coping with it fine, with a bit of teasing through all the rocks and boulders. But yeah, it'll go up here, and we're going uphill at the same time, by the way, just to add to the complexity of riding it. But she's doing well. She's doing well. This isn't my unit either, it's Jonathan's. I think I probably said that earlier, but never mind. I'm so tired after 30 minutes of riding that I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Okay, another thing that's come to mind is that Jonathan's unit, he's a travelling guy on this. He's done 730 miles so far. So the consideration is, do we actually take this unit I've built due to the fact that it's got quite a lot of miles on it already? I think the answer is probably yes, because it's proven to be very, very, very reliable and there's no signs of it not being further reliable. So, but that is just another thing to mention. So if Jonathan ever claims that he's not a good rider, he's done 730 miles on it, so don't have any of it. So any crashes and stuff, it's not down to him being inexperienced, it's just stupidity. Okay, the pain in my ankle is actually, I just suddenly realised, isn't there anymore. You forget, don't you, when it's gone. So I just thought I'd point that out. That was a temporary thing, but a potential thing. So probably need to take some ankle supports, I would have thought, as a backup, not necessarily put them on straight away, but just in case. So we shall see. It's raining. Wasn't supposed to do that. I didn't bring a raincoat. So yeah, so this is fun. Okay, River Severn's over there. You see it. So I'm on a more solid surface now. It won't all be off-road where we're going. It'll be pavements, roads, off-road. So holding up well. Okay, we are 25 miles in, 3 hours and 5 minutes worth of riding. Yeah, my shoulders are aching quite a lot. Feet, they're dead. But we're at 48% battery. The last 20% is pretty much useless, as we all know, because of the, well, 19% because of the speed limit. But that is about 8 miles an hour speed limit, so it might be okay. But anyway, 25 miles, so I'll keep you posted. Lovely view, look, over the valleys there. 33 miles so far. 33 miles.
Brilliant.
Only about 4 hours of riding. Okay, 35 miles and 28% battery. And yeah, okay, that's where we are. 35. What I really would like it to see is happen is, before it gets to the 19%, is to hit 40 miles, because that would mean we could drop probably 2 batteries out the rucksack. And obviously that would have increased distance anyway just by dropping the 2. Increased distance because of the drop of weight, which would be brilliant because these backpacks are heavy. Beautiful. Loads of thunderstorms and rain and you name it. Still going strong. Almost 40 miles. Half a mile away from 40 miles. Woo! Okay, so we're now at 40 miles, just over, and I went to go and have a look at what the battery percentage was, and it was at 45%. It's been at 25 for quite some time. Anyway, I watched it for about half a mile, and then boom, suddenly dropped 19%. So it's in the red now, so we're actually in restricted mode, which off-road isn't too bad, because you can't really go as fast as you're restricted anyway, not with all this weight. Oh, hold on, real muddy patch. Let's just see if I can get through that ditch in it. Ooh, don't ditch it this time. Right, yeah, and it suddenly dropped 19, so I'm now turning around and heading back home, and I'll just continue to ride it. Really, 19% is kind of the cut-off. Does 40 miles. I will double check the percentage again once I've climbed this long hill to see if it really is 19, or it's very unstable, the percentage reading, presumably because it balances all the batteries because they're all connected together, and it gets false readings every now and again, like the 45%. It probably is still about 20 odd. So we'll see once we get to the top of this hill. It's a long climb, it's about 3/4 of a mile, and it's just all uphill, real steep. So we'll see what it is at the top. Otherwise, so all things said and done, say it was now you were 19%, you didn't want to ride it restricted, we need another 3 batteries to do a day. Max, I mean 2, you might get away with 2 because of the extra weight saved by not having 6 batteries. I got 6 in my rucksack is what I've got. So we're going to get rid of 3 of those, possibly 4. But I think to be safe than sorry, we'll have 3 batteries with us extra. And so now at this point we would be plugging one of those into the side compartments and then running 1 at a time. So it's only 3 battery changes in the whole day, as opposed to 8. So yeah, pretty neat. And that has done exceptionally well, to be honest. I didn't think it was going to get to 40 miles, but it has done with ease. So yeah, so it looks like we're going to be doing 40 miles-ish, maybe a bit more, because of the extra weight lost. And then battery changes from there on out. Unless we get to charge somewhere at lunch and it makes all the difference kind of thing. So it might be only 2 battery changes. I think we might get away with 2 batteries carried in the rucksack, I think. So I've got to the top of the hill and it's showing 62%. So I'm going to head back down, all the way down that hill. I'm going to have a look now. I think it's cut into slow power mode again. I don't know. I'll go and check and come back to you. Hello again. I'm heading back up the hill. It's dropped to 17%. So it's got really unstable at a lower end between the balance of all the batteries. So yeah, I think we can say the 42 mile mark is going to be where we're at for what's on board, built into the unit. Yeah, but I'm going to keep riding it around anyway and just see where we get to, see what the max mileage we can get out of it is. I'm not running down to 10%, so sort of 15%. That's 5% in the red zone. It's still rideable in that zone, and it's still rideable down to sort of 10%. But you're at risk of not really having 10% and just running out. So I'll run it to 15 and treat that as the cut-off limit for the mileage we're going to get out of this, if that makes sense. So that's some of the views we get around here. Absolutely beautiful. But they get the sun setting on the Ninebot. It's done about 42 miles, maybe 43 so far, in the 17% zone now. Still. Well, there you go. 17% still remaining. I think that's enough's enough. 42 miles down to 17%. So 40 miles comfortably, last 2 miles restricted. Thanks for watching this episode. There'll be obviously another episode as well, and we'll keep the episodes rolling in. But the important point of this is it's for charity. It's for Bernardo's, which is a charity for children. So please, please, please go fund this by putting a donation in. I want to raise £1,000 personally. I think we're about £110 at the moment, which ain't a lot for the amount of followers we've got, the amount of viewers to this channel. It's not great. So if you can please donate if you haven't already. Those who have donated, spot on. It's absolutely brilliant. We've had about 7 donators so far. All have donated quite a lot of money. So thank you very much. But the more, we want to do it en masse really is the idea. So you can, smaller amounts for more people. £1 each, 1,000 people, job done. That's all it is. So it'd be really, really good if you could support this challenge. You can see how difficult it is. And the logistics gone into it, the time has gone into it. It'd be great to actually raise some money, which is the whole point of doing it in the first place. So thanks very much, guys. The link is below where you can donate. And there's a group page you can follow on Facebook if you wish to. Join in with that, ask to join and you'll be accepted. Great to see you on board and comment and stuff like that. Any questions, you can comment there and we'll answer them. Cheers guys, bye.